Well, I hope you guys are doing good since I last spoke to you not too long ago. So I've got M and Q pulled up here on the right and then MES pulled up here on the left. Nice 1 hour speed walk. I went and got a little workout in as well. I hit the stairs and then did some core. Felt pretty good. Did some stretching. And now we're back to trading. All right, so as I talked about this morning, overall our bias was bearish coming into today, right? We had that bearish bias from pre-market. Talked about it last night. Again, expected ranging today, and we did get finally a breakout move, and we can see on the 4 hour we have those equal lows that I talked about this morning as well. That looks like we are trying to target them at some point today. We got pretty close to taking them out. And now we've kind of seen a little bit of a stall down at this level. Okay, so what we do have, we look at the 15-minute, we've got 15-minute imbalance above. And then we also have this 5-minute imbalance above that we traded into and came back down, traded back into it, came back down. But what looks like we're doing right now is forming a reversal pattern. But what we would need to see is for us to trade above this 1 minute up close candle up top for that to be the case. If we can't trade above that and we still continue to make lower highs, then we're not going to try to long a downtrend. The only time I would try to long this is if we get a market structure shift, which would be that bullish breaker, and then we try to catch it up. And where would we be trying to catch it up to? Well, probably this 15-minute, but we can also look at our last dealing range from the swing low to the swing high up here. And we can see that that 15-minute is above that premium of this range here. And then we can also look at our morning range from our high to our low, which we've kind of already taken out that morning range because we are in our afternoon session. So what we did do was we created that low and we did come back to a premium of our morning range, and then we dropped again. So we're seeing that drop now. So I do expect us to try to go target those equal lows down here, but it's just about the timing and when that's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some retracement here. We're seeing that stalling, and we're seeing a little bit of that, that reversal pattern starting to form, but we're not seeing that fall through to the upside. So we could see us go target those equal lows somewhat soon. So I'm kind of just keeping my eye on that right now. Let's look here on ES and see where our lows are at on ES comparative to NQ. We can see this is the same. Actually, the low is right here where we have a lot of SMT, right? We have a lot of SMT on some of our lows. We can see NQ is trading down a little bit further than ES, but we still have these lows down here that both of us, I'm confusing myself there, right? So we have this low down here that ES hasn't taken out, that NQ has taken out. So we have the SMT down at the lows, but we're seeing a strong bearish trend overall on our higher time frames. So I'm expecting that bearish trend to continue, but we have to be aware of that possible retracement in the market after getting such a strong drop in the market, right? When we see the market drop like this, like we've seen, we have to expect some kind of retracement to happen, especially when we see it start to kind of stall and start to form a pattern like this, right? We come all the way down, retrace, come back down, retrace. So I am waiting to see what we're going to do, if we're going to break past or if we're going to start to get that downward momentum again and go take out those lows. And the reason I talk about those lows is if you're new here and you haven't heard this term before, the relatively equal lows, that's where we have a lot of generated liquidity, and that's where price likes to target very often, is those equal lows. So this is a strong level of liquidity that I expect price to go target, but first we have to wait and see if we're going to get that retracement. Right now we're just really choppy, consolidating, not going to be trading when we're chopping like this, going to be waiting for us to see a breakout on either side, right? Either the highs or the lows. So that's what I'm looking for right now. When I see price action like this, it doesn't make me super eager to jump into a trade because this is one of the more low probability times to jump in a trade is when we're chopping like this. It gets higher probability when you wait for that move to actually happen and wait for a retracement, right? Wait for that move to break out, wait for it to pull back, and then get in. But if we try to get in the chop and we don't really know exactly what direction we're about to go, you're pretty much gambling at this point if you're taking a trade in this choppy price action right here. So that's why you're going to see me waiting for us to either get that continuation down or get some retracement. Hello, MB. Wishing you good trades as well. Thank you. But this morning, great trading this morning. Really got into it quick. Okay, we're starting to see us kind of break down here. We're starting to kind of break down. Again, the 5 minutes been very choppy as of since about 1:10 Eastern. Very choppy. So that's another reason. When I see the 5 minute choppy like that, it doesn't make me want to just jump into a trade. It makes me want to wait for price to really choose a direction, make up its mind, and then we react and we look for a trade after that happens. We're not trying to force trades into the market. We're not trying to pretend like we know every single time exactly what direction it's going. We have a very good general idea of where we think the market's going to go as a whole. But if we're just looking at the 1 minute and we start to get in trades during this stuff, that's when it gets really bad. That's when you start to take bad trades. That's when you start to force trades instead of just waiting for the market to tell you exactly what it's doing. I'd rather have the reassurance of knowing that the market's telling me something and just waiting for the setup to happen and then getting in a trade. That's what I like to do. But yeah, again, this morning, great trading. Caught a lot of ticks, a lot of good trades. My first 3 trades in a row, all winners. I'm hoping that everybody that was in the green from this morning is holding on to those profits and not gambling them away. That's what my hope is. I feel like we've been building the discipline as a team to get to that point where we can all be at that point where we don't feel like we need to gamble away our profits. But again, we're all on our own journey, on our own path. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get to that point. So don't beat yourself up about it if you are struggling still with holding on to those profits, because it is a part of the trading game. It's a part of this journey. And if you find yourself struggling with that, it's just about how are you going to bounce back and learn from it. If you continue to beat yourself up about doing, dumb things with your money, in terms of your trading, and you keep talking negatively to yourself about it, how are you ever going to grow? How are you ever going to grow, right? You got to just break down the things you did wrong in a positive way and think, okay, how could I do this better? Where did I go wrong? How can I improve? Instead of that mindset and that self-talk of, man, you suck at trading. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? That was so dumb. That's only going to set us further back. Just staying in a negative mindset is not a good thing to do. So when you make your mistakes, try to think very positively about those mistakes to turn them around into something good instead of continuing to have negative effect after negative effect. Because if you stay in that bad headspace and that negative headspace, what do you think is going to happen? If you continue to be negative, how do you expect things to be positive, right? Again, still kind of just chopping here. I don't like any setups as of right now. We're going into our next silver bullet hour, which is 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern, where we typically will see price run for a liquidity level. That's why I like to trade during this time. It's the 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. It is my second favorite time of the day to trade. The first being that market open, kind of 10 to 11 time. That's my first favorite time of the day to trade. It's where we have the most volume, and it's where we typically see the best setups. But going into this time, we also will see a lot of good setups too. So how is everybody doing on the day? Did anybody take more trades after our session? Or did everybody kind of stay on the sideline and hold on to their profits? Good. Walked away. Love it. Try a few practice. There we go. No trades for both of you guys? There's a specific reason you didn't get in any trades, or were you just not on the charts? Corona and MB. Okay, yeah. All right, so out of your control. Remember, don't have FOMO. If you weren't on the charts, you weren't meant to be on the charts. All right, so we're starting to get that movement up again. We're still in this 5-minute range that we've just been kind of ranging up and down out of. Haven't been able to really make a move out of this area at all yet. So I've really just been waiting for us to do that. Okay, we're starting to really pump here. Starting to really pump. So what I'm looking for at this point is, if we're going to break through the highs, is for us to pump through, retest, right? Create that breaker, test the breaker, and then pump up into that 15-minute imbalance above. If we can't break through, then I'm just waiting for the shorts to show me something. All right, so right now it's all about being patient, waiting for our setup, not just taking ill-advised trades just because we feel the need to trade. Because when I see this stuff, this is what I was talking about this morning for anybody that was there. I was talking about trading ranges and how the ranges we saw earlier I loved. They were great because they offered a lot of reward, right? They're offering 200 plus ticks pretty much per trade. But when we see a range like this, I don't really like this because it's not really offering much. We're not grabbing a lot of liquidity. You know, we're only looking at like maybe, let's see from like this low to this high. Yeah, that from there is 100 ticks if you got the perfect entry. But I'm not going to get an entry down here. Right? I don't like these smaller ranges, tighter ranges like this. I like the ranges like this. Right? Up here, these ranges where we're offering a lot of reward here, down here, right? More reward. I don't like these ranges here, and I don't like these ranges here as much. Not as much. Okay, so we failed to break the highs, coming right back down to the bottom of the range here. Let's see what we do at this point. Price is moving very slow, not loving it. We trade into that 5-minute bearish fair value gap again. We're seeing that reaction back down, but I just really don't like this stuff right here, guys. Don't like this. Not a big fan. Okay, so at this point, if we wanted to see the shorts, I would want to see us take out this low down here. Oops, not that low. This low down here. And really show a continuation down. We've got about 1 minute until this hourly candle closes. So we do also want to see if this hourly candle is going to close with some displacement. Right, it looks like we're going to displace our previous hour. Let's see if we're going to displace this low over here and show us that we want to see a continuation to the downside. We're leaving behind an hourly bearish for value gap up here, and we have an hourly order block up here. So if we are going to retrace, those are also two key levels that I would expect price to trade back into if we're going to go long. Start to go long. So we're getting that reaction again off that 5-minute bearish fair value gap. Now I'm really just waiting for us to either take out this low, get that break of structure, right? That first break of the low would be a break of structure right here. Well, technically, if you think about it, we're making lower highs, so technically we still have a bearish structure. So this technically wouldn't be a break of structure because we're just continuing our structure down. But just for reference right now, just to think about this low as being a key low to be displaced for us to continue heading down. Okay, so we're taking out that low right now. New hour has formed. We got strong displacement on our previous hourly candle. We're seeing us move down off that 5-minute bearish fair value gap. So now we're going into silver bullet. This is when we're starting to look for those 1-minute fair value gap entries. And we're looking for a strong run on liquidity, whether that's the buy side or the sell side. Remember, sell side liquidity is below, buy side is up top. So this low down here, this would be sell side liquidity. And then these highs up here would all be buy side liquidity. Okay, so still no displacement of the lows. Still haven't traded into a fair value gap yet. So that's what I'll be waiting for. That's what I will be waiting for here, guys. So I'm hoping we're offered a nice trade, nice reward. And if we're not, we just stay on the sideline and we don't get involved. Let's see how many ticks are offered from this low down to our equal lows. About 110, 111 ticks from that low. So still good reward even if we were to wait. But I'm not going to chase price, guys. I'm going to wait for price to make up its mind and create an actual entry opportunity. Just because we see price dropping really aggressively doesn't mean I just want to jump in and chase it, because that's when you get caught in those. You get an entry all the way down here, and then you let price trade right back up and stop you out before making the real move. So we did displace that low, which I wanted to see. We have a lot of equal highs up here. Another thing to think about too is when price comes down and takes out an external low, which is like these 4-hour relative equal lows down here, that's an external low on our higher time frames. We often see price reverse after taking out an external low. So let's say we traded down and took out this low and traded down into this 4-hour bullish fair value gap down here. Right, so that's a 4-hour busy here. Remember, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. If we traded into that and took out those lows, I would expect to get a reaction back to the upside off of that level. But price is still not really moving too much. I mean, it's moving a decent amount, but I still don't like what I'm seeing as of right now. I don't love what I'm seeing. We do have an FOMC member speaking right now. All right, speaking at 2 p.m. Eastern, so that's going on. We'll see if that has any impact to our market. All right, typically any speakers that aren't Jerome Powell are going to be yellow folder, which are the low impact news events, so we don't typically see a crazy response in our market to that. Yes, exactly, Alex. So I was talking about that with, if we look here, it's a good eye there. All right, we can see that SMT that Alex is talking about up here. Or, sorry, where was that low? Right here, right? So we had this low, remember, on the 4-hour, and we failed to take it out on ES, and we took it out on NQ. We really took it out. Yes, that is something I would consider, most definitely, which is why I've been looking at a possible reversal at this point from this area, but we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen that. We might be still trying to target those lows, those relative to equal lows down here. Man, okay, so we traded all the way up into that 1-minute fair value gap. I didn't even see that happen. Didn't even see us trade into that. That happened real quick. Which is kind of where I would have wanted to look for a short entry up here. I have a little bit of Bitcoin. Not a ton. So that 1-minute fair value gap is kind of where I wanted to see an entry up here. Didn't even notice it trade up to that point, so no entry for me right now. Did anybody look at this 1-minute fair value gap for an entry? I know probably not. I'm not sure if anybody did. And the reason I say that one is because we traded up back to the top of the range. and we had this swing low to swing high, and notice how it's in the premium of that 1 minute range while we're ranging up and down. That's why I liked that fair value gap as an entry. Yeah, that was really quick. I didn't even notice it, so would have been a hard entry to get unless you had like a limit order sitting there, which I typically don't like to get entries with limit orders, guys. And my reasoning for that is because I like to see a reaction off my levels before I get entries instead of just placing limit orders. There's some trades where I will put limit orders if I have, a ton of conviction and I really like, if it's like an external low maybe and I'm really expecting a reversal at that point. Sometimes I'll put a limit order there, but I typically like to market order in for my entries. We're still just doing so much ranging, guys. So much ranging, so much chopping. So I'm still not really loving this price action we're seeing. So right now it's all about just being patient. Remember, we do not have to be taking trades every time we're looking at our charts. Sometimes the most important thing for us to do is just to sit back, watch it play out, wait for our levels to show us something. All right, it's really looking like we want to break down again and go grab those equal lows. That's still what we look like. But until I have a really solid entry I want to take, I won't be jumping in. I'm not going to chase the shorts down here at the bottom of this range where we've seen us come up and down all the time. I think we talked about this on Friday, where trading is almost like maybe 75 to 80% waiting and 25 to 20% actually trading, and it might even be less than that. It might even be 90% waiting, 10% trading. And if it's flip-flopped and you're trading 90% of the time and you're only waiting 10% of the time, there's probably some issues there. You might be taking too many trades. At least for my style of trading, I really believe it's all about being patient, taking a few trades, calling it a day. Because on a normal day, we don't often see price, give us 50 good trading opportunities on most days. We don't see it, give us 10, 20 great trading opportunities a day. Sometimes we'll see price give us maybe 5 to 10 really good trade opportunities. Sometimes maybe even only like 2 to 3 really good trading opportunities. And there's going to be those days where it offers a lot of great opportunities, but you have to be able to decipher when those days are, because those ones are rare. Those ones are really rare. Those are those days that we're like really breaking out and we have a crazy dump in the market or a crazy pump, and we just continue to see price offer us great entries. Those are the days where I'm willing to take more trades. But most trading days, we're really only going to see a few great setups a day. And there's going to be some days we see none. So one of the most important things for us as traders is to learn and figure out what those days are. Because if you can't differentiate them, you're taking 10, 20 trades on a day where we've only really seen maybe 2 to 3 good trades offered, then that's not good. Or maybe there's a day where there's actually a lot of really good trades offered and you didn't take any trades. That might have been out of fear of taking a loss. You can't be fearful to take losses. Because if you're fearful to take a loss, that means you are most likely over leveraging your account, or you have no idea what your strategy is. That's why you guys don't see me being scared to take losses. But when I do take a loss, I know exactly what I'm risking. I know how much I'm risking a day. I know what my plan is. That's why I'm able to just kind of sit back and chill until I see that plan play out. My heart rate's not going through the roof every time I get in a trade. It used to. It used to every single trade I got into. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. That's not the point. That is not the kind of trader that I want to be, and I don't think it's beneficial to anybody. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But I like to be calm and relaxed when I'm in a trade. There's going to be some of those trades that still make you, still kind of make your heart skip a beat, make you breathe a little bit harder. And that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. But it should not be like that with all of your trades. So still very choppy, guys. Very choppy. We traded back down to the bottom of the range, and we're just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? This isn't the price action I like. So far, the only entry I would have, taken or that I liked was this one up here, but it happened so quick we couldn't even, really get an entry on that. Hourly still looking pretty bearish. You can see that bearish trend on our higher time frames. Still very bearish overall. Just as we talked about. Just like, the video I sent last night, as we talked about pre-market. Expecting to be bearish, and we were still able to react to the longs this morning and catch some great longs. We weren't stuck in the idea of only shorting today. I understood that we could see price range, so we could find a really good long opportunity, and that's what we did. We caught shorts and longs. So we keep kind of just sitting down at the bottom of the range and not breaking out. Just kind of chilling. Just kind of hanging out here, doing its thing. Okay, we're going down for that low. All right, so if we go below this low right here very aggressively, we get a strong down close move, strong displacement, then I would expect a continuation down here. But if we come down and we start to pull right back up, I'm expecting the longs to step back in to the top of the range. So that's what I'm waiting to see here. We're about to close on the 15 and the 5-minute candles. Let's see how they close. Okay, so we're starting to get that strong move down. 1 minute bearish fair value gap forming up here. 1 minute SIBI here. Oh. Trading up a little bit. So about 30 seconds till our 5 and 15 minute candles close. Remember, I love to use those two time frames as my confluence and confirmation in these trade setups. The 5 and the 15 minutes show us so much about where our market's really headed. Let's start to look at what our risk management would look like if we trade up here and get in the shorts. We could have very good risk management here, very tight stop. So we got displacement of the lows. We did grab liquidity, so I need to see a good reaction off this level for me to get in. Alright, I'm going to test out the shorts here. I'm going to test out the shorts. So low entry, but I'm okay with getting a lower entry because we can still keep like a 25, 30 tick stop. I'm going to put a 30 tick stop up here at 19,795.50. So I still have very good risk management here, just in half a lot, and this is really just testing out our market. Again, if we push through our stop loss and we start to go long, that's when I'm thinking long. That's when I'm thinking that this is truly a liquidity sweep, and that's when I'm going to start looking for longs back up here. But I'm willing to test out to see if this is that run. Okay, so now we see ESCO stop us out real quick. Okay, we're starting to get a little more volatile here. A little more volatile. Let's see if we're going to disrespect this 1 minute bearish for value gap. All right, didn't want to put too much risk into the market on that one. 30 tick stop. Let's see if we're still going to respect this level, if we're going to push right through it. If we push right through it, that's when I'm thinking long after that liquidity sweep to head back up. But after seeing displacement of the low on the 5 and the 15, that's when I want to see that continuation down to those equal lows. But when I start to see these bearish levels get disrespected, that's when I'm thinking, okay, now longs are probably going to step back in and probably try to take us back up to our imbalances above. So I do want to see us, you know, if we're going to disrespect this level, we're starting to get very volatile here. A lot of movement. Still respecting the 1 minute bearish imbalance, but I'm not liking how volatile we are. I'm not liking this up and down, very aggressive stuff, but still not really making any real move. Still not making any real move here. Right, they're really battling. The longs and the shorts are really battling here. See a lot of indecisiveness right now on our 1 minute time frame. 5 minute has gotten a lot of pullback. 15 minutes gotten a lot of pullback. It still looks like these shorts want to step in. But we're seeing every time we start to come down, we come right back up. Okay, there's those shorts. They're going now. They're going now. All right, I'm still not liking what's going on. This is very volatile. Very volatile. Looks like these shorts are going to step in here, but I'm not really liking what I'm seeing. All right, so yeah, I could have kept a wider stop. I could have had a higher stop loss, and I would still be in this position. But that's not the risk I wanted to take on this trade. I don't know if anybody had a higher stop loss and is still holding on to this one. But that volatility just is not something I like very much. Right, it's just when we look at that 1 minute and we see it go green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red like that. That's not, I don't like to see that very much. And then we see this come right back up. So a lot of manipulation in this market. Once we start to come up and displace this 1 minute fair value gap to the upside is when I'm thinking long. That's when I'm starting to think long. So let's see if we want to close above here. But do we notice this volatility and all of this manipulation we're seeing right now? Just up, down, right? These candles are not the type of candles I like to see here. And it kind of started to happen right as we got into our trade. Another reason why I like to scale in with half a lot before going into a full position. Especially on my first trade of a session. You're really just getting a feel for how the market's moving. Still not displacing that 1 minute. I'm really not liking this price action right now. Really not liking this. What I like to see in my candles is strong closes where we're really just moving in one direction and we're not seeing price going up, down, up, down, up, down on one minute candle. When I see price moving up and down, going green to red on a 1 minute candle constantly, that's how we know when price is very choppy, when it's not really trying to break out or it's not a true breakout move. When we see a true breakout move, that's when our candle is just completely green or completely red. That's why you haven't seen me get any re-entries on this yet. Is anybody still holding their original entry? Is everybody out? I know I kept a pretty tight stop, and some people like to keep a little bit wider of stops. So I know some people might still be in, or yeah, some people didn't get in at all. Let's see if we're actually going to get a breakout and displace this 1 minute, or if we're going to trade right back into it. Yeah, a lot of ranging. Very, very choppy and volatile right now. Yep. Okay, so we displaced the 1 minute. Bearish for value gap, but I still don't trust these longs just yet. I really don't trust the longs or the shorts right now. I'm having trust issues here with this market. And if it's going to continue to move like this, this isn't the type of PA I like to be involved in. Right? That initial move, this is what I like to see. And then that's when we really, after we got in, is when we really started to do that choppy up and down. So sometimes it goes like that. So it's basically every time you think that breakout is going to happen, so far what we see is a strong manipulation where it trades right back up or it trades right back down. It doesn't make that move. We'll see if this is going to actually be that move or if we're going to come right back up again like we did on this 1 minute candle here. And we're coming right back up again. This is that account killer price action right here. Because what people will do is they will try to short, and then they'll try to long, and then they'll try to short, then they'll try to long. And before they know it, their account is gone. The drawdown is hit. Yes, specifically, yes, Apex accounts, exactly. With that trailing drawdown on the unrealized profit, this is how you blow those Apex accounts. So I'm hoping we'll get something better. Something better than this. So, I mean, every time it looks like we're going down for those equal lows, we haven't done it. I still am very bearish biased overall. So that is the target I want to see us go take. But even if, even with that conviction in the shorts overall, Still didn't want to get involved again in this trade. We're just seeing these very long wicks to the downside, to the upside. A lot of SMT. We see SMT at the lows right now with NQ taking out that low. ES failing to take out that low. Let's see what the VIX is up to right now. The VIX is also pretty choppy at the moment. Pretty choppy. So just not really liking what we're seeing here. I mean, ultimately, we had that short bias and we had that idea here for the shorts down to those lows. And that very well could happen. No, we still haven't swept them. We're getting very close. These are the lows down here. We are very close. You might just need to wait for those lows to get swept and then see if we're going to get some kind of reversal. Man, weird price action right now. Not creating any other fair value gaps. We disrespected that 1 minute up here, and then we dropped. No fair value gaps, a lot of wicks. Moving down aggressively, and then coming right back up. So if we continue to see price action like this, then I probably won't even take any more trades. But if we can see it kind of clear up a little bit, start to show us more direction, then I will look for something. We can see the difference of how good the price action was this morning compared to what we're seeing right now. And sometimes it does not even matter how good of a trader you are. You can still get eaten up in this kind of price action. Well, I hope you guys had good weekends, that everybody enjoyed their weekend. You made profit for the first day. Let me see. I think it should be like that. Did you make more than what, than the consistency rule? I think on Top Step it's 40%. I think Top Step has a 40% consistency rule. I know Apex is 30, and I'm pretty sure someone would have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 40% of your total profit goal. On an Express account, it's 50%. I feel like I've always just traded 40%. Yeah, so for the combine, I know it can't. For the 50%, you can't have more than 50% of your total profits. But I'm wondering on the XFA. Saying there's no consistency on an XFA? That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's the 200 plus. Yep, that's right. 200 plus a day for 5 days. Is this with TopStep X or is this with just the normal TopStep account? TopStep X. Okay, so I don't know all the rules for TopStep X. I'll have to look into the rules for that one, because I know they're different than the normal one. Or are they the same? Okay. All right, so it's the same. All right, so you're just trying to make 200 a day for the first 5 days. So it's really just the amount of contracts you can trade that's different. And guys, still no entry opportunities that I like. We're still just very choppy. Not good conditions right now in my opinion. So at this point, really just waiting for us to take out those equal lows. Just do something. You know, take out these lows, maybe trade into the 4 hour and just show us a reversal. Because right now, there's not any good opportunities to try to short this. We're too close to that goal. Too close to that key level. No fair value gaps being created. Very choppy, volatile price action. So, and that's the thing. Even when we have conviction in the shorts or in the longs, and we really do, you know, think that they're going to go one way or the other, does not mean we always should trade it. Because if we're not offered with good risk management or a good entry opportunity, it's sometimes best just to stay out. Even if you have a lot of conviction, if you don't have that entry opportunity, you know, it's not good to trade. Yes. So, yeah, it's just 5 winning days overall. You can still have losing days, but it's just at least 5 winning days of $200 plus. That's that minimum goal you have to meet. Heading right back up. Long wicks again. This is just not it. This is not it, guys. This ain't it. This is one of those times where I'm just sitting on my hands. Okay, we're starting to move. Now we're starting to get some volume. We're starting to get price actually moving up with a little bit more follow through, at least for now. Still no fair value gaps being created. But that's the first time in a little while we've seen 2 consecutive candles, one direction, with more of a full body. So now what I'm looking to see us do is for us to take out this high up here. Create a bullish breaker, all right, with a low high, lower low. This candle right here would be that bullish breaker, the highest up close candle. And I'd wait for us to retest that breaker and then look for the longs. So we just trade back into a 15-minute bearish fair value gap up here. Seen a strong reaction off of that level. Very strong reaction off that 15-minute. Not creating that breaker as of right now. Still not trusting this price action. Still don't trust this price action until I can see us either get that market structure shift, start creating 1-minute fair value gaps, just give us something. So let's see if we create this 1-minute breaker here. And we could use our Fibonacci from that low, that high to that low. See if if we could catch it back up to the top of the range. Okay, so now we've created that breaker. We've gotten that shift of market structure. Now I want to see us trade back down into this and start to see a reaction back up for me to get an entry in the longs. Need to see a reaction though. I'm not just going to jump in when we've been ranging so much. Trade into that 1 minute fair value gap down here. Really need to see us start heading up if I'm going to long this. Because we're going to have to inverse that 15-minute bearish fair value gap there. See if we can start to move up here. All right, there we go. So I'm going to get an entry here in the longs. Strong reaction. Strong reaction to the upside again. I'm willing to get worse entries because I can still have a good stop loss. And I really need to see a lot of conviction to get in these trades. So I'm going to keep a 40 tick stop down at the bottom of the breaker. 19,790. And this might be one of those that if we can't break through, I'll look to cut early. I'll look to get out early if we can't start to push through because of that 15-minute. See if we can start to push here. Okay, we have the reversal pattern. We have the test of the reversal pattern. Let's see if we can get follow through. I'm going to add into a full here. I'm starting to like this, guys. I'm starting to like this one. Keep my stop there. So my entry is at 19,850. I'll move my stop loss up just to this low down here. So now I've only got like a 33 tick stop here. Looking to catch it up to this high up here for a first TP around 70 ticks. All right, so that's why I'll put a limit order for half my lot, half my position. Okay, so my first TP is up here at this limit. And again, I'm still looking, if we can't follow through and push up from here, I'll look to just cut my trade early if we start to move down. I need to see that follow through. But not risking too much here. Still, you know, just about 30, a little more than 30 ticks of risk. See if we can get that follow through. At least hit our first TP up there. We have that reversal pattern. We've bounced off the 1 minute breaker. Now we just got to see if we can inverse that 15-minute. Retested that breaker again. If this one comes down on us and, you know, it just shows that we're gonna move like this, then I'll just call it from here. I won't take any more trades because that'll just show me that our price action is all over the place. We can see we're really moving down into that breaker. We're not seeing that fall through to the upside like I really wanted to see. Just still chopping up and down. Really wanted to see us push through off that reversal pattern. So I'm still holding this trade right now. Again, I've thought about cutting it early, but since I have tighter risk on this, I'm okay with holding it for now. I'm okay with holding it just because I'm only risking a little over 30 ticks on it. You know, if I had like 50, 60 ticks of risk, I probably would have, you know, thought about scaling out of it a little bit. So we'll see if we can push through. Again, we're looking at that 15-minute. This is what's keeping us right now. This is what's holding us down. But I really do think this is a strong bullish candle that could inverse that 15-minute. We're about to close. We just closed at the top. We didn't inverse it. But we're still looking pretty bullish from here. We just got to stop chopping. There we go. Let's see if we can get that breakout. Look, remember, looking to take first TP up here. limit order at 19 excuse me, at 19.818. Okay, there's that move that I wanted to see. I could always move that stop to break even, make it a risk-free trade. I still want to give this one a chance. I still want to see if this is going to move up. I don't want it to come down to break even and then pump, because that's kind of the price action we've been seeing lately. There we go. We're starting to move a little bit here. Let's see if we can go hit that first TP on 72 ticks for first TP. More than a 2-to-1 here. And then I'd be looking to hold up to these highs and possibly even higher. There we go. All right, first TP has been hit. Stop is going to go to break even now. Stop is now at break even. First TP is hit. So let's see if we can start pushing, continue to push through this level, through this imbalance. What I'll do is I'll trail a stop here. I'll trail a stop beneath this candle here. There we go. We're moving. I want to see us push through this level now. I want to see if we can push through this level. I'll set another limit order at these highs. Set it for 75 for almost the rest of my position. If we can come up, take out that level, that's that next TP I'd like to take up near our second standard deviation. So far, guys, very good trade. Made our losses back. We've hit about 80 or 78 ticks. That next TP is about 151 ticks from our original entry. And I've got one stop trailing at 19.80850, and I'll start to move that up the more we move. One stop is still at break even. Let's see if we can continue to move to grab buy side liquidity up here. So far we've caught that reversal at the perfect time. Saw that bullish breaker, we waited for a reaction, we got that entry. So 15-minute imbalance, or the 5-minute imbalance up here is that next level we're going to have to try to push through. There we go. I'm going to move this stop up now. There we go. So now my stop is at 19.81475. This could even be another good TP level up here. I might even look to just take TP up here, honestly. Let's see here what we do. If we start struggling to break through this level, I'll just take TP. But we're looking pretty strong right now. This looks like we could really break through this level, go up to that 151 tick mark, grab buy side liquidity. Here's what I'll do. I'll sell one of my contracts there. I'll keep one stop here. Okay, so now I'm only in 2 contracts. I just sold a few more. I'm only in 2. 2 runners. Stop loss down here at 19.815. One stop loss at break even. This one up here I want to have for half a position, or for one of my contracts. Take off one contract up here and then leave one runner and see how far we can catch it. Let's see if we can break through this 5-minute imbalance here. See if we can go hit that second standard deviation off of that reversal pattern. Take out this buy side liquidity, finish off that silver bullet move. So far, very good trade for us here. Very good trade. We have caught 117 ticks on this trade so far, guys. So I'm just holding 2 more contracts, 2 runners here. 1 stop loss into profit, 1 still at break even. Limit order set up at 19.83875 for an XTP. We're struggling to push through the 5. There we go. Let's see if we can push all the way through it here. This 5 minute is what's keeping us right now. I'm going to move my stop loss up again, up to 19.820. Just below this 1 minute order block here. Because now we are starting to take out some buy side liquidity up here. Again, I might be, I'm being a little greedy, hoping that we can reach this high up here, because I do see that potential of us taking out the high up here and going to that second standard deviation up top. Let's see if we can do it. All right, this high up here is 151 ticks from our original entry. Again, this is still a good other TP level. That's why you saw me take another, take some TP up here, because we could see that pullback from this level. We're seeing a lot of long wicks here. We're seeing a lot of resistance, a lot of struggle to push through. All right, but still have sold most of my position. Really just holding on to a few runners. There we go, Greg. There we go. Let's see if we're going to hit that stop loss there. Grab a little more profit. All right, so we hit that stop loss. So one of my stops. So now I'm just leaving 1 runner, guys. I'm leaving 1 runner, and I'll just hold on to this one. I'll hold on to this one. I'll keep it at break even. Because here's the deal. I'll miss out on 35 bucks if it comes down and stops me out at break even. But if it doesn't, and we continue to see that run on buy side liquidity, I'll be able to catch at least an extra 100, maybe more. So I'm cool with that. There we go, Bash. Hey, killing it, guys. That's what I'm talking about. What a day we've had today. Great start to our week. Great start to our week. Right, so that's the risk I'm putting in, is losing out on 30 extra bucks to try to make, maybe another 100. We are seeing that reaction off the 5 minute, but this is a very strong reversal that we saw, and we caught it at the perfect time. So yeah, from that entry, 131 ticks there, guys. Maybe even more. 132 ticks from our original entry. That's what I'm talking about. Oops, keep it. I'll move it just a few ticks into profit. I'll move my stop just a few ticks into profit there, just to cover commish. All right, guys. I want to see everybody that caught that trade with me. Everybody that caught that trade with me. Let's see it. 131 ticks. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about. That's what patience does. That's what patience will do for us. All right, so we have that 5 minute bullish fair value gap here. We could still see us bounce from this level. We'll see if we do. Or if we're going to come right back down. We're moving down aggressive. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add in. I'm going to add in here and just keep my stop at break even up here. So I just added in another contract. I'll keep my stop at break even. And that's what I was risking anyways, was a break even stop. And if we really push through this level, I think we would have stopped us out down here anyways. So we'll see if this is where we can bounce. Again, we have that bullish fair value gap on the 5 minute. Bullish order block here. Now I want to see if we can push up, and if not, oh well, caught a great trade. Call it a day. Let's see if we can make one more push. We've gotten a really strong reaction off that 5 minute. All right, this is where we see all those highs. But when we create such a strong bullish fair value gap here, we trade into it, we react off of it. That's what I like to see. Of course, have a good day, MB. As I was saying, if we can break through this 5 minute, we have a lot of room to run. So I'll just move my stop into profit just a tad bit, just below that wick. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. I mean, I think on the day, guys, we've caught like over 500 ticks altogether. Altogether, I think we've caught about 500 ticks. At least ticks that were called out. Doesn't mean we've taken profit at every time we've been at that full tick mark, but pretty nice. Pretty nice day. Let's see if NQ is going to come stop me out here. Or if we can get one more ride. Can you take me higher, NQ? Can you take me higher? So we're still seeing us respecting this level. We're still getting a lot of reaction off that imbalance, but just no fall through to the upside yet. Oh, we are about to end on the hour, so we might see some volatility start to pick up here. Going into power hour. See how this one plays out. See if maybe power hour will give us a nice little pump here. And look at that pullback we saw on the hour. We caught a lot of that move right there. All right, almost to that new hour. Again, we typically see a lot of manipulation at the start of an hourly candle, which means we could come down and stop me out before the move happens. So we'll see what happens. Just holding on to a few runners here. See if we can get some follow through here, guys. Back into that 5 minute. Need to see if we can push through that 5 minute there. And we could go all the way back up to that 15 minute imbalance above, which is why I'm still willing to hold this. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to sell those other 2 contracts I added. Just sold the other 2 contracts I added. Because we hit that original high. That was that TP level I talked about. We got very close to it. I'll move the stop loss up a little bit. So now I'm just holding on to one runner again. One runner again here. See if we can push through that 5 minute. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Look at that pump we're seeing. Look at that. I think we're at close to 200 ticks from our original entry. There we go, deep. Glad you're able to pass another one. See if we can keep pushing here. See if we can keep riding this trend. There we go. Come on, we're almost at second standard deviation here. Alright, I'm just going to trail my stop pretty far up now. Moving it all the way up to 19.83150. Trailing it pretty far now. There we go. We keep going. See if we can make it all the way up to that 15-minute imbalance. As I just trail my stop all the way up. I'll move it up a little bit again. Look at that pump, guys. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, guys, our original entry was all the way down here. All the way down here. It's 200 ticks right there from our OG entry there. 200 ticks. Make that 600 ticks caught on the day. See if we want to come stop me out. If we're going to keep that pump going. Can we keep that pump going? I'm going to move my stop loss up again. 19.840.25, just below that candle. See if we get stopped out here. What do you guys think? Should I hold it here or should I move my stop, keep my stop at break even, let it ride the rest of the afternoon? Might be too late. Might be too late. It is only 1 micro, so I'm not too worried. I kind of just want to keep it at break even, guys, and just see how far this will go. I'm just going to keep it a little bit into profit and I'm just going to hang on to this for the rest of the afternoon and see what happens. Alright, so I'll just do that. So I'm just going to keep my stop at 19.820. And either I'm going to get stopped out super hard right now, or we're going to ride it to the moon. One of the two. We'll see what happens. I'm literally... Here, this is what I'm going to do. I don't typically do this, guys, but I'm kind of feeling it right now. Since I'm only holding 1 contract, 1 micro, I'm just going to log off my computer, and I'm not going to check until literally the very end of this hour. And right when I see where it's at the end of the hour, I'll sell it. If I didn't get stopped out at that point. What do we think about that? These longs are really still stepping in like crazy, so... You guys think I should do that or no? All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hold 1 micro. I'm gonna hold it until market close right at 4 o'clock Eastern. I'll sell it wherever it's at if I don't get stopped out at that point. Well, that's it for me then, guys. I'm gonna end the session here. I'm gonna go take care of some stuff. Take care of some stuff for the Discord. Working on some cool things. So I gotta go meet and figure some things out. But great day overall for us, guys. Had a blast today. Great trading, great discipline. I mean, we caught like 600 ticks overall on the day of all our trades, our green trades. So pretty solid. Great for a Monday. Great way to start the week. Let's keep this momentum going into tomorrow. All right. You guys stay safe. Appreciate you all. I'll catch you all tomorrow morning. God bless. Peace.